Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Smith.
The prosecution is ready.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Your opening statement, Attorney Edgeworth.
The prosecution alleges that Mr. Smith willfully, feloniously, unlawfully, and traitorously bashed Mrs. Smith, his wife, with a blunt piece of modern art.
Do you have this art piece as evidence?
It's right here.
I didn't see this piece of evidence anywhere in your affidavit.
I'll allow the submission of new evidence.
What?
As I was saying, the accused was motivated by jealousy. You see, the victim had been sleeping with her tennis instructor for several weeks now, and all of a sudden they have found something they should not.
Objection! I didn't hear anything about a tennis instructor.
Well, he's here right now.
That wasn't in your affidavit either.
Your Honor,
I'll allow it for the speedy disposition of justice.
Wait!
it is of note, Your Honor, that the husband did not see the pair in the act of lovemaking, so the defense cannot avail of the defense under Article 247 of the...
Hold it! How could Mr. Smith get a hold of a murder weapon if his wife was in bed? The couple owned no pieces of modern art. I wish to
Wait
see...
your turn, counsel.
Mr. Smith grabbed the murder weapon and then...
I want to see this weapon!
Everything in time. He took the weapon and then...
Counsel, I'd appreciate it if you withheld your helling.
I wish to see this blunt piece of modern art!
Counsel, it seems you did not come prepared to this trial. Would the defense wish to request a postponement?
Yes, the defense requests a postponement.
I'll be expecting your affidavit within the day. Later that evening, on the night of the 26th, Nick had no case, and he knew exactly what he needed to do.
I'm going to have to strike a deal with Miles Edgeworth.
For justice. As he made his way there, all he could think of was Miles. He had to make a deal with Miles. Maybe get his client off with a mitigating circumstance or two to reduce the sentence. Ever since the beginning of their rivalry, every trial felt less about seeking justice and more about beating Miles. That prosecutor practically ran his life. Most days he wanted to wrap his fingers around that man's throat and choke him until his head burst for justice. He found himself in front of the doors to the courtroom. The moment he opened them, he saw him where he knew he'd be, standing in front of the judge's bench as if it were an altar in a church, was Attorney Miles Edgeworth, prosecutor.
Attorney Wright.
The prosecutor turned around, recognizing Nick's scent the moment he walked in. Phoenix Wright, the man who broke his perfect conviction record.
Miles, I want to make a deal. I just can't allow myself to stand by while my client's given the full 40 years for a mistake he made.
So, this is the case where you finally realize you can't win everything. So what's it going to be? A guilty plea? An attempt to bribe me? Or would you like me to go easy on your client?
The facts are simple and clear, Edgeworth. Article 13.3 of the revised penal code. I know you know what happened. Do it. For justice!
I'm willing to accept a deal. But there's a condition I need.
Just then, the prosecutor lunged forward and took Nick by the hips, before kissing him square on the lips. Phoenix pulled away.
Unjust vexation!
It was Article 287, Paragraph 2 of the RPC. Though they both knew that 287 was just the beginning, the lascivious act would soon escalate to Article 336 for justice.
Would you like to see my penal code?
Nick began to sweat for justice.
Yes, Miles. Show it to me.
Miles reached into his trousers and whipped it out. It wasn't as big as he expected, but it was very thick. On the front, it read Revised Penal Code with Special Penal Laws. When he opened it to a certain page, a condom fell out.
You're not thinking about...
Oh, yes. Phoenix. I am going to do this.
Time passed like a blur. Nick could feel the prosecutor's protruding cross-examiner at the entrance of his anal orifice along with the rubber condom. Edgeworth stood over him, his penal statute as erect as if ready for recitation. It was nothing like any cock he'd ever seen.
It's like Poe versus Comelec. So long, hard, and fucking controversial!
Edgeworth pushed him against the judge's bench, ready to give him the longest night since Consti 2 finals.
No! Take the condom off. I'm clean.
How do I know you're clean?
I'm a virgin.
You mean you and BFA never got it on?
No. We almost did once. She took me to her office to teach me the meaning of habeas corpus.
And what happened?
What I really learned was mens rea.
Miles only giggled at the comment as he removed the condom and wrapped his hand around Nick's already erect protrusion for justice.
I want you to make love to me. Penetrate me.
He wanted it more than anything. He wanted to fuck Edgeworth for a fair verdict. He was ready to fuck for justice!
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I've wanted to do it for the longest time. You're the reason I became a lawyer. You defended me when we were still in school together.
I remember. I wanted you even then. After all these years of being fucked by the bar, I wanted to be fucked by your bar.
Nick pulled the other man to the evidence table and bent him over. Miles could feel a finger sneaking into his entrance.
No, Nick, I don't want it like that. Those fingers of yours, I want you to use them on me like you've always used them.
With that, Edgeworth got on top of the evidence table on all fours. Nick knew exactly what that meant. He pointed his extended finger just as he did in court, but instead of pointing it into the air, he shoved it up the prosecutor's ass! Again and again! Say it with me! For justice!
Objection sustained! Quick, Nick! I want more than just your finger. I want...
Yes, of course. But there's something I need you to do first.
Nick looked longingly before reaching for his chest and taking his cravat.
Wear this.
What?
As a blindfold.
Oh. Kinky.
Nick placed something on his body, and he suddenly felt clothed with judicial authority.
Hold these.
He laid him on his back and held his arms out. Only then did he realize he was wearing the judge's toga, and the metal objects were a sword and scales. Phoenix Wright was finally going to lose his virginity to the one thing he loved more than anything in the world!
Justice. Lady Justice. Edgeworth.
Here I come, justice!
No, not yet. I want that.
Edgeworth pointed at what was on top of the judge's desk.
You want me to put that up your ass?
Yes.
Nick took the gable.
Yes. Hammer me. With a big end.
Nick immediately grabbed the cable's head and aggravated the circumstances. Article 14, paragraph 18 of the Revised Penal Code. Unlawful entry.
I've always wanted to be fucked with an instrument of justice.
It was so big. It hurt more than anything he'd ever placed up his butt so much that that he began to cry like a first-year law student in front of his first pile of reading.
I can't believe it fit.
When you have Manfred von Karma as your professor, you get used to being fucked in the ass every day.
He pushed it deeper, moving it around inside as he began pounding it against Miles's prostate, tapping the end of the hammer into it like a judge. The prosecutor squirmed, tears flowing down his face, taking it all for justice.
You have to say it, Nick.
I call this court into order!
Oh, yeah!
Miles let out a scream as he began to spew over the evidence table, christening it with an additional sperm sample. Then Nick suddenly shoved it out before shoving his integrated bar into Edgeworth.
Confess! You wanted this!
Oh, fuck.
Confess! You want this more than anything!
Prosecute me! Attorney! Prosecute me hard!
I'm gonna prosecute you all night long!
Yes, Nick! Prosecute my prostate!
Say it with me. For justice! Eventually, it felt like it was getting too much. Nick attempted to get his lover to stop.
Hold it! I want it in me. Release your dispositive portion into me.
Felix looked out as he plowed his adversary in front of everything he felt was holy, and saw once again Mia Fey's ghost. Watching her student with pride. She was also touching herself. The lovemaking lasted the entire night, cross-examining one another's body till the sun came up. They didn't realize how long had passed till the courtroom began to fill with people. They all looked in awe as the shock, cum, sweat, pee, and blood covered almost every surface. A lawyer was drilling justice in the ass one more time. For justice! The judge only gasped as he remarked, "This truly was the practice of law."